But she was brilliant, and kind of like she just started singing on the sofa. I remember looking at this sofa thinking, oh, that is an amazing sofa, that. Ian Brown has sat in that sofa. Kind of Kylie Minogue has sat in that sofa. Richie has sat in that sofa, because I was living with our press officer at the time. Kind of the window of the widow of Philip Hall, kind of thing. That sounds like my phone, but I haven't got it on me. That is my phone. But yeah, and then I remember, I bought her a bag of chips as well when we were in the studio up in Primrose Hill. Loves her chips, the girl. So likes tea and loves chips. Was it not to like? She was absolutely really gracious, and I think I said something mildly offensive about a picture of her boyfriend, which was in the newspaper. I said he looked like a knob. Because he had a kind of really thin Mohican. She didn't miss a beat. She went, that's not very nice, James. I went, I'm really sorry. She went, you're forgiven. So, how cool can you be? She was great.
Lynn Gilchrist.
Yeah, have you got any plans to re-release Generation Terrorist?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Nicky is the band's archivist, he's kind of got so many bits of old artwork and stuff. And I was listening to the old demos, which we did with Steve Brown when I produced the album. He produced Wham and Cult before he worked with us, and ABC and Boomtown Rats, and I listened to the demos and, God, Jesus, we sound like 12 years old on it, it's mental, but that's the first proper demo I've got the first proper demo of Motorcycle Emptiness, where Steve Brown put me in a room and he said, you need a middle section and you need a guitar riff, for this song. And it was just like being set really good homework. He just shut the door to the control room and put it on loop for me. And he said, you've got to come up with your riff, I think he said something like, where's Sharon? And he's like in the dance floor going, this James Bradfield can really play guitar, he sounds really sexy. And that was his motivation to me. I was young, it worked, And I just listened to the demos and they just sound, like I said, they just sound so naive, but really good for it. So we've got lots of stuff we could put on, like an anniversary Generation Terrorist. I'll talk to Nick about it, he's the man with the plan,
Peter Gethin.
You mentioned a lot about adorations, but is there any particular one song you wish you'd written?
Yeah, there's just millions of them. I mean, God Save the Queen by Sex Pistols for a start. I'm not going to try and ram our Republican kind of opinions down people's throat, but I just think, somebody like John Lydon is so, he's so undersold as a lyricist, If you listen to a line like, if there's no history, how can there be sin? What an amazing line. We're the poison in the machine, we're the flowers in the dustbin. It's just absolutely amazing lyricist. So many songs, so many lyrics. I wish I could have written music to, especially what John Lydon did. Lost in the Supermarket by The Clash, wish I'd written that song. For What It's Worth by the Cardigans, that song just breaks my heart every time I hear it. And lots of Yellow songs, shockingly, wish I'd written.
Okay, a couple more. Ian Bartlett.
Yeah.
It's a question about guitars.
Yeah, but there's going to be a rumour that you're getting a signature model of the Les Paul. I can't believe that's your style. Reselling it.
If Gibson offered me a signature model, I would sell her in a second. If that's your notion of selling now, I'm a fake. But we would never, ever I'm not being racist here, but I'm a tiny bit. But if a band gets a sync now with Apple, or or with some kind of World of Warcraft, they take it in a heartbeat, kind of thing. We'd never do those things. But I know Gibson have just been raided by the feds in America for using illegal woods from Brazil. So perhaps I'd have to step back a second there, try and prove my eco credentials. I don't know.
Finally, Robert Pike. Robert? Robert's in the house.
Still having his tea.
Well, we had a question really asking you, obviously reality TV show time of year and stuff like that? Is there any that you would want to be involved in any being up a tree, covered in bugs, or singing, or judging, or anything like that?
No, I mean, kind of, there's not one reality show that I would do in my lifetime, and I just haven't got the personality to kind of actually, you know, sustain people's interest in me. I'd be voted off in a nanosecond, so I'd be gone. But I do sometimes wonder what Nick would be like on one of these shows. It would be just like him watching a cluster bomb go off, wouldn't it? Like, you are pathetic, I hate you. It's just like, you kill everybody. But there's not, no, I mean, kind of, I'm more of a radio person than a TV person, so I wouldn't do any reality show whatsoever.
No selling out. Okay, thank you.
Well, thanks very much for not chucking anything at me. Really nice, thank you. It's really a pleasure to be back in Sheffield. We played you so many times. You know, we played the Lead Mill way back at the start. We played the Uni. We played, you know, kind of like the Academy and the Crucible. It's just been a really good city for us. We've always had a good time here. Like I said, one of my favourite chippies. What can go wrong? It's just always amazing to come back. So thanks for coming out tonight. Have a good crimbo. I am James Dean Bradfield from the Man Sheep Preachers, or the Stumpy Street Preachers, as they call me on the internet, one of my own. Like I said, have a good crimbo. May God's be with you, desire for life. Good night. Libraries give us power, and then what came and made us free. What price now? For a shallow piece of dignity. I wish I had a bottle right here in my dirty face to wear the scars, to show from where I came. We don't talk about love, we only want to get drunk, and we're not allowed to spend, as we are told that this is the end of design for life. Our design for life. Our design for life. Our design for. Wish I had a bottle right here in my pretty face to wear the scars, to show from where I came. We don't talk about love, we only wanna get drunk, and we are not allowed to spend, as we are told that this is the end. Our design for life. Our design for life. Our design for life. Our design for.